right now. I want to thank you all for tuning in. As I said, I made the 5-4 yesterday. And I'm going to be opening my gifts at the end of the show. We're going to be eating tacos and cutting cake, drinking a little wine, and the kids with a little juice. But before I start the celebration, off camera, I'll celebrate with you all on camera. So from me to you all, here's a toast to me going into the new chapter, 54, graceful and humble. Cheers. Again, why nobody picked up their drink? Well, Michelle is actually drinking tea. Excuse me. Paula, that's Miss Terry. You know, she's always on the scene. Behind the scene, but she's always there on time. Right. So I want to start off by saying we all go through changes, especially as women, but men too. And I had a show where I had some, two guests booked to do a show Saturday about addiction. And I was talking, well, a lot of shows, let me go back, a lot of shows and people that I have booked, I have like kind of put on hold because I'm changing the route. Meaning I know where I am now, and before I was letting people come in that wanted to do a show, and instead of me comparing myself with what the show is about. So now when you see me interviewing, you know that'll be somebody that can relate or put some relevance into the program. Not saying the other guests, because that's not what I'm saying. I'm only saying that's why you've been seeing me alone. Not that I don't have guests to interview, but I'm taking my time. Right. And so going back to that, I was talking to my spiritual advisor, and I was telling her that I had a show coming up and it was about addiction. I said, but I'm not really ready for that topic, you know. And she was like, well, why? Like, you know, what you do, you know, that you would consider an addiction. And I'm like, I don't know, because I don't consider anything an addiction, because anything you can do without is not an addiction, right? But then I do have an addiction, something that I can't do without. But I'm still not ready to touch that territory, and it's not drugs. That's what y'all would love to. Because addictions don't have to be drugs. It comes in so many different forms. You can be addicted to a person, really. Exactly. So I said I wasn't ready to touch that subject because, to me, like if you deal with depression, you can avoid, I think, being addicted or turning to drugs or getting addicted to things, because when you're depressed, you're looking for anything to suppress your feelings. You turn into sometimes the wrong people, running into the arms, you know, and then that's how sometimes you find yourself in situations doing things that you wouldn't ordinarily do because, you know, it's this depression going on. And then sometimes you're depressed because something done happened and you feel embarrassed about it, and then you go running to confess, and the confession I'm fine. Everybody knows you done confess because you done confess to a man. Whether it be a priest, a pope, you know, prophet, whatever. You don't have to confess to a man. You can confess to God yourself. You can get down and confess all your sins, and then it's really just between you and him. You know what I'm saying? And nobody don't have to know. It's not written where we have to sit there and confess ourselves to like the priest. Who is the priest? But a man in flesh, just like we are. And you're learning more and more that the priest is really not the one you wanted to confess to anyway. And you find out when you're going with the Baptist churches, the woman going to confess to the preacher, the pastor screwing your wife now. I'm just saying, you know, things are changing now, but you don't have to confess to anybody. Confess to yourself. And if you feel like, you know, you need to say it out loud, go in the room, close the door, or wait till the house is empty, and confess it. Say it out loud. Do your crying, do your shouting, do whatever you have to do to fix you. But you can't fix you worrying about what other people are doing or saying concerning you. Anything that's not even for them. Because you're only responsible for you. Unless you're a young parent, then you know you're responsible for you and your children. But if you're not together, you can't be responsible for the kids because you know help them. Your head is all over the place. You don't know, what's up with it.
And a lot of times you're embarrassed, but there are so many other people going through the same thing. I said a lot of times people are embarrassed about situations, but so many other people are going through the same thing. Instead of, us as women getting together talking about it, because you'll be surprised how many people going through the same situation, and they're looking for an avenue or somebody to express what they're going through.
Right.
But you're so scared to express some things with people because you're pouring out your heart, trying to fulfill what you need to fulfill, and other people listening as a conversation.
Yeah, to go run back and have something to talk about.
So I think that brings a lot of problems on is finding the right team.
Avenue. Right, and then you have to realize the team don't have to be family. The team is who you feel comfortable with, who you want to talk to and relate to, because so many times people feel like because that's your sister, that's your brother, you have to get along with them. I mean, you do have to get along with them, don't get me wrong, and respect them, but you don't have to eat 10 miles of the poop to get along. If once you get together, it's a whole lot of friction. Stay away from each other. But you should be able to get together for family functions or, something going on and be like adults setting examples for the kids. Because when you really think about it and get to the surface of things, what are we really upset about? Nobody don't even remember.
Right. Well, I'm one that suffers with depression, have suffered with depression for a very long time. And for me, it's hard to open up. So I tend to hold a lot of stuff in, and with the help of you lately, going through and before, many times before, it helps me talking to you, because I know I can trust you, you know me so well, you can give me the right advice. I mean, the advice you've been giving me been like so on point.
Thank you.
And I just want to let you know that, and I appreciate it to the fullest.
Thank you. Because what she's speaking on, I've told you all before, I suffer with depression. And I only speak upon what I know. And that's why when I tell you, you find out people when you at your lowest. Because, the same, it's so easy. It's so easy to go up. And it's harder to go up. But as hard as it is to go up, you drop so fast. Things disappear so fast. When you getting it, it's glorifying, there it is, like a diamond shining bright.
Right.
But see, when somebody chipping away at that diamond, and we not realizing it because we all in a good time, we having a good time, and they dimmering your light.
Right.
Once you go to making a change, or you go to confessing, and I'm not talking about to people, speaking on like depression, like not keeping it in, but releasing it, you feel much better, and then you realize I'm not the only one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I tell y'all all the time of me being a difficult child. So when I see, I have problems with minds that's, difficult, I kind of handle it in a way that I say that my mother did that I thought was harsh. But then I seen it wasn't harsh because I wouldn't be who I was today if she was constantly there for me to come running and, whining. And, but at the same time, they have to realize that as adults, even though we the parent, I need a break.
Right. You need your own time.
I need to woosah.
Right.
I need to know sometimes you here for me as well as I'm there for you. Right. So I'm just telling your kids, like grown kids, sometimes you have to check on your parent. And the neighbor, the elderly person, see, like I'm putting elderly into anything over 50. And I know they got some of them know they're young, they're 50, they're youthful, they're young. I feel the same way. But sometimes I need somebody to check on and make sure everything is okay. Because everything is not always Okay, like it never rains in California. It rained 3 days while I was there. No, I'm just playing. I don't think it rained. Girl, please, you are not the center of attention. Y'all know sometimes I take a break.
Black Beauty. That's Black Beauty, y'all.
She can't keep still. Oh, Chris, you could have got Chris. So,
Happy birthday.
thank you. My grandbaby, that's called it. Y'all know she just graduated. And then I have Crystal. Crystal graduated as well. But back to what I was saying about the we were talking about depending on other people, just being there for other people. Like I had posts on my page about is nothing home for them speaking to a person every day and not knowing what they're really going through.
Right.
And then to find out you're talking to me every day, but you don't have enough trust or enough confidence in me to tell me what's really going on. So when it happened, it blows up the scene. Because I'm like,
Power on.
let me go back so y'all understand what I just said. When I said like, we were talking about talking to people and I was saying about confessing, right? And I was saying like when you go into somebody, say we talking on the phone and you going through something and I don't know, but we talking every day. I don't know you're going through that, and then when it's just boom, I find out all of a sudden, and now in my mind it's like, oh, you couldn't tell me this was happening with you, which is a selfish thought, because you gotta realize this person gotta be under a lot of pressure to be able to hold this space like this in the front of us and to continue to be talking on with it.
Right.
And y'all have to stop putting on a face. If it's not a good day, say it's not a good day. Stop pretending that other people are something that they are not. If you in a relationship and you know it ain't right, why pretend? Who you saving face for?
Right.
Not the people that's on the outside, right? Because you saving face, you want us to think you got this perfect relationship, but when you go in, what is it? And I'm not just talking about man, woman, I mean, period, and in general. People. That's why I'm saying don't be afraid to let it go. Release, throw them over the side. They baggage. You don't need extra baggage. If it's not a team working together, then they're working against you. Now I understand the team not together every day, not talking every day, but if you're not there, not one of the days, what purpose do you serve in my life? No, seriously, what purpose do you serve?
And sometimes when you're in the situation, you really don't think about it, you know. You be having so much going on till you don't even think about, you know, what's really going on.
Well, you're actually living it, so you aware of what's going on. Now, if it's something you want to share, maybe that's where the problem comes in. But I can't see you being in the situation and have no clue, you know, the situation you're in.
Sometimes it takes somebody or something to bring it to your attention. You don't always consciously know.
Well, you may not know the ins and outs of it, but I just feel when you're in a relationship, like you know when something's not right. You can't pinpoint it all the time, but you know when something's not right.
Right.
That's just me. Now, if you want to accept it, that's on you. You know, to correct it or to accept it, that's totally up to you. But it's not that you're unaware of what's going on.
I don't know, because you have those deceivers. Like I'm going to my relationship. You can be with a person and the sun rise and shine on them, and one incident happened and your whole world has been interrupted by one other person. And for me, A woman, I'm sorry, she don't move me. Don't never, none of y'all don't never think that me and this person separated because of an individual. No, it comes from a lack of respect. It comes from a lack of understanding. Where am I? Or who am I? So you got to know your self-worth to know you worth more than what this nigga giving you. And at the same time, you just been accepting it because you're comfortable. And I'm talking about my situation. So when I find out that you messing around, it's like, well, how long this been going on? Because I'm clueless. See, everything happening in the house, he making sure. He know I need a Pepsi when I wake up. He know I want a Snickers when I go to bed. You know, everything is right there, so I'm missing it. But then after I get that little income, every red flag, everything makes sense. Then the puzzles start coming together. Now you see, it's two kind of women. It's one like me, and then it's the other woman. Now, I'm the type of woman, once I get that sign, I'm looking already. And you ain't going nowhere till I find your replacement. You're going to pay these bills. You're going to do whatever is necessary till I find your replacement. Because you done already replaced me mentally. Right. You still want my body. Right. But you don't want me. Right. And you don't want me because you done brought this other woman in the picture. Now it's me, you, and her. We all might as well do this shit together. Well, how much you got? Because see, I ain't cheap. She got to be cheap because she accepting what I'm leaving. Right. And you got to know one thing. Once I'm gone, and you're going to live how I'm living, you ain't going to get them crumbs I was given. See, you was getting what I was leaving behind. And you were satisfied with it. But see, can you sit in my seat and be a woman with it? And I don't go back around and say, oh, I'm going to deal with him because you did it to me. Oh, no, no, no. See, I done already moved to new territory. But then you have the woman that can forgive you.
Power on.
And let you back in. Thank you. Now, I'm going back to me. Now, when I say I'm not going to move right then and there, because, you know, you got to do what you got to do. It's time to start, you know, thinking. Now, when I say the woman didn't move me, I'm not saying I'm not shifting things around. You see, now I'm moving a little faster because I know about this woman. But watch how I bring this man right up on in here, right up under you. You think you going to Algiers on the second floor and the nigga using your hose pipe to wash his car in your front door. That's because you want to be nigga slick. But baby, guess what? Do unto others as you have them to do unto you. So then, that's the type of woman I am. But then when you got that forgiving woman that's going to let you keep coming back, that's the type of woman you really got to worry about. Because you're going to hurt her one time too many. And when she, you know, for every action there's a reaction. That's why I tell y'all, I've been roped it on in before he gone. You got to have a replacement. I don't know if it's because I have brothers or who my daddy was. I just messed with some low down men, you know, that taught me this. Straight up. I can name names and hurt their feelings if they don't know. I'm talking about the men I was with. I ain't going to name their name, but I can name the name of the man that was there when you thought you had it going on, and you're going to sit back and say, yeah. And especially, you got to watch when you bringing a man to your house and your woman there. And when I'm talking about the man, I'm talking about the weed man, the crack man, whatever y'all doing, you got to watch when you bring him to your house. Y'all start out. You got to watch him when you bring him there, because you best believe he looking. He's looking, and he think his money longer than your money. And if you could get, I got it. You ain't thinking like that, right? Okay. And here go Betty. Betty taking you right out of my house, taking all that trash, thinking she got stuff. Well, Betty, let me tell you what you got. You got a trifling, no life living, Low down, no good, SOB. And you thought you was the only woman he had out there? Girl, come on now. They never satisfied with one. Give me a minute. What?
You could go.
What you want? My hookah. And they got some on the dresser in the room. Yo, we got a hookah after this too, so excuse my interruption. Okay, I know I was talking about the regular man, but let me tell you this here too. No two households are the same. When at the end of the day, I don't care what you think you know, that woman is running that house. And if she's not, she wasn't taught. And if I don't teach her, listen to nothing else Miss needs to say, listen to this. The man is the head. And he got to give you something to follow. He's the leader. But you are the foundation. Yeah, the woman. Because see, without you, the house not clean and the bills not paid. He don't even know when he went to work tomorrow. He don't even know when he went in the streets to go see these little trick. I'm dressing you and presenting you to go out there and they think they got something. But guess what? Let me tell you, I'm here to let you know. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because if you could do it to me, baby girl, you going to get it too. And what's sad is, you going to get it to the one that was already your sister wife. You just didn't know she existed. But there ain't nobody just messing with no one person because you get invested in things like that. You ain't going to invest yourself when you got one at home, huh? I don't know. Excuse me, y'all. I don't know what you say, Karen. But they're investing at home, huh? Just 25 years. 26 years, yo. Then I had Tammy and Robert, 35 years, my age. My brother and my sister-in-law, both of my brothers and my sister-in-law. When you go around them, those couples that it's in the air. You know what I'm saying? It's the atmosphere. You know that's his wife. You know that's her husband, but they ain't all up under each other. And see, that's what I like. I like when you go around a couple and he over here, she over there. Not saying they don't come together, but you good with you. You good with him. You're not worried about him clowning and laughing and talking with everybody. But then you have them women, you can't even talk to your daughter. You can't speak to your niece. Something wrong with that. You know, them kind of women are the women that do it. That'll do the daughter and the niece or the son and the uncle. I want to take a break on my throat and getting so raggedy.
Power on.
Well, I want to say I'm the one that will give you chance after chance. And then when I can't take no more, but I do give, I say this.
How has it been working for you so far?
It hasn't.
And why you ain't switch it up yet?
Oh, it's time to switch it up now. It's time to switch it up now.
Nah.
Yeah.
And how old are you?
I'm 50.
You
But we all
see, it takes
feel
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes time. Nobody comes. That's why I say everybody try to go through different stages.
Right.
And then everybody was raised different.
Right.
And no two situations are alike. I don't care if we are sharing a man. No two situations are alike. Believe that. It's never roses or nowhere. Turbulence comes with it. How you gonna know if you don't go through something? But you gotta be willing when you go through it to throw it away when you finish with it. You can't dwell on what it was. Because if we build it and we get a little lump, we gonna tear that part down, that old wood that got termites, and we gotta rebuild. But it takes two.
Right.
You gotta be willing to do this. You gotta be willing to throw it away, relax, and release yourself.
And do what you feel is the best for you got to do what you feel is best. Because everybody, you're gonna have people on the outside that seeing a situation, seeing it, and they may not be looking at it like you're looking at it because you know what you have invested in the situation.
Right.
So all I say is work fighting for it,
Yeah.
and you fight for it. Now, if you just out there and you jumping, and there's no foundation, then what are you fighting for?
Right. You can't fight by yourself.
You can't fight by yourself. You just can't.
Cannot. You got to go learn a person all over again. You know, you got to. What you over there doing, I already know what's wrong. You got to learn all these, you know, what's going, what the ins and the outs, and you don't know people like that. You can't just jump out of one relationship into another one just like that and expect everything to just work out.
Well, I know what Lisa says is that you're really not jumping in and out because you didn't already started.
You already gone.
Once I feel like there's nothing there, it's the next person's moving on.
Right.
So you're really not jumping because they have that time when they making you miserable. You know, they going on. Yes. They done already established that other side. You know what I'm saying? Then that's why it's such a shock to us because it's like, wow.
Right.
You know, I never took time to look at it like that. I'm trying to figure this shit out.
Right.
I'm just saying, you know.
Real talk. Real talk.
I'm trying to figure it out and you didn't move on to something else.
Right.
And I thought we were bigger than that.
Right.
You know, so.
Right.
And make sure when you move on, that's what you ready for. Because you see, you got to understand when I tell you about these replacements, I didn't tell you they was a total replacement. Sometimes it's just a good time, man, to get me over that thing I had.
Yeah.
See, ain't nothing like having a good time to get over what made you miserable.
Right.
I try to preach it all the time. I say, I'm not giving nobody control over me and my feelings.
Right.
If it's fuck me, then you know it's fuck you. And what you telling me, if you going against the grain. If I can't look to the right, I'm looking to the right, you looking to the left. And what you're looking at, you ain't got no business looking at. Because you got to know how to look. You don't make it obvious.
Right.
Shit, anybody, like I said, they can start it up, go it on up there and let them start it up. But you got to be man or woman enough to know what you got at home and go home and let that finish it up. See, you won't be greedy and have it all and you wind up with nothing and by yourself. Or you wind up very wanted. And good being by yourself sometimes. Sometimes. Everybody needs somebody. Right. And again,
You could be in a set of people and everybody in your circle is not
don't have good intentions.
it's not the person to put that message to. Especially when you want to pour your heart out. You know, like if I'm talking and it's deep, I don't want to wonder what you think about me when I finish. Like who you gonna tell this to? Because if that's the point, I could have kept it to myself or shared it with somebody that I was comfortable with. You know, if
Don't
I take the
visit
time,
bodies.
yeah, you know, because some people just sit there and act like they have to listen to you, but they listen just enough to bring it somewhere else.
And they do that.
You know,
And they do that. Like I found out way later, like, you know, people know each other and you don't know they know each other until you sitting there and somebody say something and you're like, oh, you know, oh yeah, I know her and I know you too. Well, yeah, now it makes sense. Like I had just the other night, I think it was the night before my birthday, I'm laying in my bed minding my own business. Anybody that know me know 11:45 or anybody with manners and have been raised wouldn't call somebody at 12 o'clock that they don't even talk to on a daily basis. But check it out, the little girl, the young lady called me. I used to deal with her daddy back in the day. She was cool, you know Chantel, Chris, and she dealt with my son, this old. So she calls and asks me how I know the manager from the how the manager from the gas station know I know her. And this is how the text message came, like, hello Cheryl, how you know I know Christine? Now first of all, I'm in my bed, I'm fucking 53, how old are y'all? And I ain't talked to you, I don't even know, well I know you, but you know what I'm saying? We don't have conversations. You're my daughter age. But I done raised mine, she would never call and address nobody that way. So I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? So then she goes on and on. So I'm like, I have a daughter, and I haven't worked with this girl since 2015. Oh, well, it's fresh to me. So in my mind, I'm thinking like, maybe she saw me liking something on this girl's Facebook page, because that's what they do, and then say, oh, well, that's who told her this, or, who told her that. Seriously, I don't even remember her even coming up unless it was pertaining to hair, because she bad with doing that hair, right? And watch this. Once she called me and asked me this, now my mind is gone. My mind, y'all, I told y'all that that's the type of person that I am. Now I can tell you the exact conversation me and this girl had. Oh, I like your hair, who did your hair? Oh, a girl in Marrero. Oh, what's her name? Oh, I know a girl in Marrero. I used to date her daddy. She lived on such and such street. No, she lived such and such. I said, you sure? Yeah. I said, she got a daughter kind of chunky. Yeah. I said, yeah, I know her. Oh, yeah, me and my daughter, that's who she did their hair. She said nothing else about the girl. I said nothing else about the girl. So where it comes in for you calling me from 20, yeah, girl, this just happened the other day. It was so meaningless, I didn't even bring it up to you. So where you could call me from 2015, you know what that tells me? You hoes miserable. And that's what I called you. I'm 54, y'all 30, my sons and children age, and you gonna call me about some shit from 2015 that even if she did know that I know you, how could you bring me to somebody's house when you know we don't rock like that? You ain't on my level. Then when I told her, I'm not sure I'm Miss Niecy, she texts back in Niecy. But I know how you was raised and where you come from, so it ain't no surprise to me. And
we were just talking about depression and people not being able to express themselves. So you never know, that conversation might have meant something. You know what I'm saying? Like, for somebody to call you that time of night and you haven't talked to them in a while, they might have just been reaching out.
No, that was a mess. That was not no reach out, because you was asking about how somebody know. Like, first of all, you calling me at midnight. How am I really supposed to even know who you talking about and what you talking about? But that my mind's so sharp, and I'm 54 and on top. I immediately knew when she said the name, and I said, that regular asshole, I brought a refrigerator from her that didn't work, and a table that didn't have all the parts. So my manager wasn't talking about her. I was talking about her. But we never was talking about you. But I done said several things about that regular ass wench. And whatever going on with her, she needs to seek God and pray and leave me alone. Because I don't care what's going on one way or the other, but I'm just saying how the devil is busy. People will try to draw you into their shit. Wow. Now, as far as I see from the hairdresser girl, I can't call her name, Byron Black daughter. As far as I see from her, she's doing good with her life. Her kids looking good, her business looks like it's flourishing. And I always knew she was top of the line with the hair, and that's what we always talked about, hair. And what I told her was, girl, don't you let them little regular assholes get in your head and mess up what you got going. I see you doing good for yourself. Because that's when people come around. When they see you doing something, you progressing. So they're gonna come and tell you something from 2015. Not that I said nothing about her, but the girl. I said a lot of things about that girl. No, girl, I got to show you the text. She wasn't reaching out to talk. She was reaching out for men. And like I told her, I thought you had more respect for me than to call me with some foolishness like that. But the bottom line is, I'm so above you. We're not on the same level. How could you even think you can address me? What's up? Hello, Cheryl. Who the fuck are you? At 12 something. Baby, I'm a real mama. I'm in my bed at that time, doing whatever I choose to be doing. But I tell you what I don't choose to be doing, having nobody calling my phone. And you see, that's what y'all don't realize. Don't no man want to be around all that. You in your bed or whatever you're doing, calling somebody that time of night with some bullshit. Some guy, and then, oh Lord, if a man would have been laying next to me, God knows what I wouldn't have said to you. I'm telling you, it would have been a whole year out of, and I wouldn't have been asleep. I'd have been wide awake, baby, and I would have served your ass. But I like the little girl, y'all. I'm not lying. I like her. That's why she know that, I guess she could call me like that. But I don't like her enough for her to call me at 12 midnight with no bullshit. From no goddamn old manager. No, and Santee's cook, Santee's been messy. Y'all know, all y'all messy. That part. I don't know how I got on that show. I was just saying, like, I hadn't talked to these people, hadn't seen these people in years, and worked at Stove 2015, but here, the night before my birthday, excuse me, I get a text on Messenger. You don't think before you send this.
Right.
At all. Right. You just send this out. You got to think. First of all, you got to think about what is being said. And second of all, what am I going to this girl's house for?
Right. Right.
If I was going to her house, I would have gone to her house with all the shit that she must have needed the money because none of the shit worked. I didn't going to her house for that. But I let that go. I'm like, you know, when you grow, and that comes with growth and maturity. Some things you learn, it's just not even worth the trouble. Now, see, I probably still be going through shit with him had I did that, because goddamn, I'm still bothered. I'm 54. Now I ain't seen him. I know it's been since. Now, Santisa, I did go see her one day, but she was like a niece. Most of the things we was going to talk about, that was her old man, you know? I don't want to know about your friends. Because we had done set her up in the store, me and the other woman, and yeah, somehow I know they on them ghost pages with this. Yeah, she always messing trying to say this one say that and that one say this. So we both told her something to see where it was going to go and how it was going to come out. And baby, showing up, just like we told it to her, that's just like it was all over the store, all over the other stores and everywhere else. And we never did tell her we set her up. But to let you know, that little story I told you about that girl giving somebody money for food, that was a lie. It was a total setup. But you went back and told that girl's sister, had a whole big old mess in them people's house because you had loose lips. And that's why you're on the ship that's still sinking. Obviously, in the time somebody calling me with 12 midnight, y'all still not happy. You play with all that voodoo and you're still not happy, right? And y'all know y'all was playing with the voodoo in front of me, telling me how to do the voodoo. So it ain't like, and I'm giving receipts, it ain't like I'm talking something I don't know what I'm talking. But even the voodoo must not be making them happy. Because if it was, then you surely wouldn't be trying to prove no prank calling me about who I know somebody. I'm just saying.
Somebody says stay on support and not the men.
Who said that? That is supportive. That's not mess. When somebody call you at 12 midnight that you ain't seen since 2015. And if whoever on it and don't like it, you click off. You know this is the internet. It's an on-off button. Get off it. Because if it's mess to you, but it's not mess to me. And somebody listening to it, they can relate. That's like I'm saying you don't entertain. I didn't call this one, call that one, call this one, but I'm on here telling it to you all how things go. It's misery. They're not happy. 2015. It's 2021. You done had another baby. This girl got, I think, 2 girls now. Come on. And I ain't with nobody on my page telling me about no mess. Because, baby, let me tell y'all something. You're going to really bring it out. Now, I'm about to end this up because I done got pissed off right fast. See, I hear the motherfucker always tell me that can't follow. You got to follow. Follow what I'm saying. See, no, I'm not getting mad, but you interfere with other people who really is listening. And you don't take it as to that as what I'm saying. And get from behind me, behind this camera, y'all too. It's a message. And the message is you don't entertain it. Okay? It went over your head and whoever else head. But I know some of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. And some of y'all get them calls and you go back and forth and you're going to find out who said and why. But what I'm trying to tell you, leave it alone.
Who is this, Auntie?
Don't entertain it. Well, Auntie Uncle know I love her. I love her with everything in me, but she ain't gonna tell me what to talk about on my show. This is my shit. I run this how I wanna run this. And we talking about releasing and letting go. And that goes to that. If somebody telling you something that happened in 2015, you should have been to let that go by 2021. You know, and then y'all always be with somebody too old for. You better recognize your age and where you at. Don't entertain old women, entertain your children, take them to the fair. Sit down and read a book with them. I'm serious. There's more things in life to do than to call somebody about what somebody else said. Because at the end of the day, you're never going to get the story the way it came to you. It's never going to come back the same. That's like somebody telling you they saw your husband. And when you ask them again where they saw him or what was said, they can't tell you. 9 times out of 10 they can't tell you because they done talked to him. And he done let them know, don't mess with this marriage or don't mess with such and such going on. Or they can't tell you because it wasn't true. Somebody else told them and they coming to tell you. And they can't tell it to you the way it actually is going because why? They ain't got them details. They got to call to get them details. But you don't want nobody that, you don't want to go through all of that to hear about what's going on. Right. It's like what Karen was saying, your instinct. Go with your gut feelings. If your gut is telling you, if it's too good to be true, it's a lie. It ain't true. Anything, anybody else? Ain't telling me done came here and done work my nerves and done made me get over my top, got my doggone show. We about to open some gifts up, y'all. Because the kids, what time is it? The kids getting rested. Checks. I want y'all to see my crop skirt. I have, but ladies, I'm really serious about this. Release. Y'all can hear that? I know that's people in the kitchen in the background there talking. I've told them several times when they come that I can hear the noise in the background. And this is why we have private sessions. But because it's my birthday, I allow them to come. So, ladies, it's about being able to release and let things go. Don't be afraid to start it over. Don't be afraid to start over without it. Stop thinking it's cool to hold them down. And if the woman at home, man, and she ain't doing what she's supposed to do, don't be afraid to leave. There ain't no need in holding no trifling ass woman down.
Right.
She can't wash your clothes, cook, and feed you. What's her purpose other than spending your money? And it's vice versa too. Because you know you got them house niggas. They won't be at home doing nothing. If you got to come home and cook and clean, what purpose is he serving? Don't be afraid to leap out. Leap. I said I was going to stop, huh? I wasn't making any more videos. But I said I was coming back, you know. And I'm back by popular demand.